Today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to create a Nearpod lesson. I started creating one and realized I would do much better and get it done more quickly if I did a little outline of what I wanted on my Nearpod lesson. So I created this outline here to kind of follow. I've already filled in the information, but I have the topic, the teaks it's going to cover, some of the activities I want to do, what I want on slides. Therefore, it just kind of helped me gather my thoughts a little bit easier. So when I'm searching for things in Nearpod, I don't have to take a moment and decide what I want to enter. So I'm going to go back to my Nearpod and I'm going to create a new lesson. So I've logged in with my apps account and I'm going to create my own lesson in Nearpod. I'm going to start by adding a slide. I can add slides I've already created, but I'm creating them directly here in Nearpod from their slide creator. So I'm going to click on add content and then add slide. There's lots of content you can add into your Nearpod, but for today we're starting with slides. This is going to be the title slide and our topic is states of matter. I can come over here and choose the theme that I like, and then I'm going to click here and add an image. I can add images I already have on my computer, or I can add an image straight from Google. So let's just type in states of matter and see what we get. So I like this one here. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click save. And I have completed my first slide. So I'm going to click save and exit. And I'm going to add my second slide now. So I'm going to go back here to my topics and or my planning sheet, and I'm going to just copy here this teak because I know that's what I'm going to put on my second slide. So I'm going to add a slide here. I'm going to add content again and go to slide, and I'm going to put what we will learn. And then I'm going to add here text, and I'm just going to paste that in. Now down here I can change my text to fit the area a little bit better. I can do large, I could do huge. It's a little too big, so I'm going to stick with large. I can also make it centered. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to save and exit. And now I'm going to start adding the content. I'm going to also do this by adding slides. For this, I want to change the layout down here. So I'm going to click on the layout button and I want to do a slide with two elements. So up here, I'm going to do solid. And then I want to add a picture of a solid. So I'm going to go click on the add and a picture. And let's see what we get if I search this. Let's just do this brick. And then on this side, I'm going to add the definition of a solid. So I'm going to come back to my planning sheet and I'm going to find the definition of a solid, which is right here. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it in. Again, I'm going to change the size and I want to center it. I kind of want this down more in the middle of the image. And I'm going to hit save and exit again and move on to my next slide. I'm going to continue doing this for the different states of matter and then we'll come back and show you how to add some activities. Okay, so I have all my slides in, so now I would need to add an activity. So for this Nearpod lesson, I would like to add a PhET activity. So I'm going to click add slide, I'm going to add content, and I'm going to go over to this PhET simulation. These have some great science and math activities you can add into your lesson. So I'm going to go to elementary science. I'm going to scroll down. States of matter, basic state. And I'm going to add this and say done. I'm going to then go back to my planning. I've added that. I want to add a video now. So I found this video on YouTube that discusses the states of matter. I'm going to go ahead and add a slide in again, and I'm going to add content, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the end and go to video. I can search videos, but since I already have that link, I'm just going to put that in and hit search. This is the states of matter video that I found. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to click save. And it's now added into my lesson. After I do my video, I want to do another activity where they do a draw examples of solid liquids and gases. So I'm going to go back to my presentation. This time when I do add slide, I'm going to add an activity. This activity is going to be a draw it activity. And my instructions are already on my sheet. So I want to start with a solid, just draw an example of a solid. I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to add a timer. I'm going to give them 2 minutes. I can add media. I can add a video or audio instructions for this. I'm just going to do the typed directions, and then I'm going to hit save. I can upload a background image if I would like, but for this particular lesson, it doesn't need any kind of background image. Hit save. I'm going to do that 3 more times. And I'm going to add an activity, draw it. This time I'm going to have them draw an example of a liquid. Paste that in, click save. I'm going to add a slide again, activity, draw it, draw an example of a gas, paste that in, and save. Now, after looking at my lesson, I see I have a lot of content up here and then all the activities at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add the draw it after each slide here. After they do the learn about the type of matter, then they'll draw that example. So if you notice, all I did was click on the slide or the content and I just drag it up to where I want it. So you can move these to whichever order you want. And then that way, if you decide later, you put something in the wrong order, you just move them around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my planning document. I notice I skipped one. I wanted to do a poll question at the beginning. Do you know what matter is? So I'm going to ask that question at the beginning. So I'm going to add a slide. I'm going to add an activity. And I'm going to do a poll. This will kind of give me an idea of what my students already know. Okay, so their answer could be yes, no, idea what it is. Yes, I know all about it. Or I know a little, but would like to learn more. I can add an image here. So if I wanted to add an image, I can do this, and I can do another image of matter if I wanted. And then I'm going to hit save. Okay, again, I want that at the beginning of my lesson, so I'm just going to click and drag it kind of to the beginning of my lesson. So that's the first thing they're going to see after their title slide. Let's go back to our planning document. I have my video in, I've done my drawing images. Now I want to do a matching game. So if you notice here, I added images because these are the ones I want to use. They're downloaded on my computer. I just wanted to be sure I knew which ones I wanted. I'm going to go back to my Nearpod presentation, and I'm going to add a slide. I'm going to add an activity, and I'm going to add matching pairs. So here, I'm going to add my instructions. Match the types of matter with their patterns. So I'm going to click down here and do add a pair. So my text is going to be solid, and then I'm going to add an image. Now this one I found on the computer, so I'm going to go to my images, and I'm going to find the one for solid and add it here. Then I'm going to add another pair. Then I want liquid. I'm going to add my image for my computer again. And then I'm going to add my last one, which is gas. And I'm going to add my image for my computer for gas. And then they will have a game here where they can match the different pairs with each other. So if you wanted to preview it, I can click on preview. So they're going to click, this particle goes with gas, this one goes with liquid, and this one goes with solid. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Go back to my planning sheet. Let's see. The last thing we're going to do is a quiz. I've put my questions here that I want and the answers. So I'm going to go back to my Nearpod assignment. I'm going to click on add slide, and I'm going to add an activity. And there's two types of quizzes. You can do a time to climb, or you can do just a quiz. Time to climb is kind of gamifies it, makes it fun where the kids play against each other. A quiz will just be a straightforward quiz. So I want to add a time to climb, see if the kids know the content that we taught today. So ask for question 1. I'm going to come up here, just copy it, which makes it really easy. And I'm going to paste it in there. And then I'm going to put the answers. So I know it's solid, liquid, gas, or all of the above. I'm going to add my question 2. And once I'm done, I'm going to click save. Oh, I need to go back and answer my questions. So I'm going to go back to number 1, and I'm going to say solid, liquid, gas, isoform, it's a solid, oxygen is a gas, and then I'm going to click save. I then have the time to climb activity at the end. I can be done now. I can add more content if I want. You can add as little or as less content as you would like. One of my favorite um, new pieces or content activities that you can do in Nearpod is actually called a collaborate, and it kind of makes it like a collaboration board, like a bulletin board. So I'm going to do states of matter, and then in the description I'm going to say add a picture of an example of a type of matter and label it. And you can make it look however you want. So if you want it to be a chalkboard, I kind of like the corkboard look. I'm going to add an image here. Let's just take that. Kind of doesn't work because it's not the right size. And then the students can go in and put their little thumbtack with their answers on it. So I'm going to hit save. And I got an error. So let's be sure I have all of this in. I'm going to click save one more time. It looks like it worked that time. So now I have 16 slides. I have some great interaction activities for my students to do so they can stay engaged. And I'm ready to save it and share it with my class. I'm going to click on Save and Exit. I'm going to name this lesson. So this is States of Matter. We're going to say it's for 3rd grade. And it is a science Actually, I think that was a 4th grade teacher. And I'm going to hit save and exit. I now have my lesson here. I can click on live lesson and it will launch for my students right then to join. And all they would enter in is the code right here, and then they can do the live lesson with me, or I can send it to the Google Classroom. I can share it on social media or a link. I'm going to close out of this, go back out. I can also do it as a student based if I want to assign it for homework where they can do later. And if I wanted to do that, I would go ahead and turn on that the student has to submit it. And then I click on link and I can get that link and I can share that with my students. I can also send it Google Classroom or Mind. I can embed it on my website. Lots of different ways you can share this. But that is how you do a Nearpod lesson. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. Thank you.